Halo Reach, my very first Halo experience. Back at the beginning of 2020, somebody told me something called Halo the Master Chief Collection came out for PC. I had never heard of Halo and I was willing to give it a shot. One game was available at the time and that was Reach. And believe it or not, I actually didn't like it at the start. Keep in mind, this was my very first time playing Halo. Coming from other FPS games, I was like, why can't I aim? Why can I only sprint for a few seconds? And why is this assault rifle so inaccurate? Little did I know what a great journey this was going to be. I also made one of my best jokes ever. Hello? What? Of course I didn't know what Spartans were, what the Covenant was, or who Dr. Halsey was. It was such a unique setting, and that was the first thing that stood out as well, the setting. Like, the game focuses a lot on Reach itself, with amazing cinematic moments, everything going on in the background, and just the overall feeling of being on this planet. While playing, you always had that tiny feeling that the planet was already screwed. If you guys have seen me play, well, any game, I rush everything. I'm going into this game and I had to really adapt. And they even tell you that as well, no lone wolf stuff. Here's where Noble Team comes in, and I really like Noble Team. Although the game doesn't have much time to explore characters or give a lot of screen time to these characters, you notice the different type of personalities immediately, and you feel a connection pretty fast in my opinion. I played this at the start of my YouTube channel, and it was one of the first games I've ever played where I truly cared about my team. I mean, I had played games with amazing stories and characters, but still, war is nasty, and they show this pretty well in this game. So being here with these characters felt special. There was also some tension in the team, which makes everybody on edge, and also you ask yourself, like, what's going on between George and Emil, or Carter and Kat? Now that we're talking about the characters, let's talk about what I think about what happens to Noble Team. Well, I actually loved it. I mean, I didn't love that they all, lost their lives. But like I mentioned, this gave the game so much more emotion and made them more human. I like when games don't take the normal route of like most characters pushing through in the end and survive. It was so unexpected sometimes too, like Kat being sniped was one of the moments I remember the best. And I did not see that coming. I was so down by that actually. Emil going out like a hero, and man, I think he wouldn't want to die in any other way. That last image of George throwing us out of the ship, Carter sacrificing himself and taking down his scarab, and of course, yourself, Noble 6, dying, taking a last stand. What a trip this game was. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the story. Of course, back in the day I had no information about the rest of the lore, but looking back at it, the story is amazing in my opinion. So you need to investigate a loss of transmission with Noble Team, and oh my god, it's the Covenant! So it basically becomes a rescue mission to save Reach. Every mission feels unique in its gameplay and setting. You have like your balls to the wall, shoot at everything mission, and you have your sneaky sniper mission, and even a space fight, which was surprising, but amazing. At some point you can even bring the fight to the Covenant, blowing up a carrier. Rip George, man. Next to that, you need to get Cortana to the Pillar of Autumn as well. Once you arrive and get Bay to Captain Keys, Noble 6 knows what he has to do, and he knows it is time to fight the Covenant for the last time. You fight waves of Covenant as long as you can until you get overrun, to die like a hero together with the rest of Noble Team. The game ends beautifully where Halo CE starts. They couldn't have done a better job. Now, what was it like to fight the Covenant for the first time? Well, it became clear pretty fast what the attack patterns were from your enemies. I'm not gonna go over them individually, but when you had like a room full of enemies or like a place full of enemies, you could plan your approach just by looking at what type of enemies you were going to find. I really like that, although knowing your enemies, they caught me by surprise here and there, of course. I mean, I wasn't expecting any suicide grunts running at me or elites rushing you with an energy sword when you turn a corner. That was great, switching it up like that. The hardest thing to get used to for me personally were the weapons. Like I mentioned before, not being able to aim was so weird to me because I never actually played a game before where I couldn't aim. I know, right? Millennial problems. So when I got used to them, all the weapons started to feel very satisfying to use, except for the Needler. I know people love the Needler, but me personally, it never felt good using it in any Halo game. I just don't like that your bullets don't go where you aimed. You know what I'm trying to say? It feels a bit janky sometimes. I know that it works how it's supposed to, but I'm just not feeling it. You can give me a sniper though, it feels so good. You guys know I love sniping, so yeah, Nightfall is one of my favorite missions. Amplifying everything that happens in this game is the insane music. This goes for every Halo game, the music is phenomenal. I love listening to it on Spotify too, but it just adds so much to the game and the events. I don't think there's one human being on this earth that will say like, you know what, I really dislike the music in Halo Reach. I don't think there is one. So, I know my reviews are very basic and pretty short. I'm still getting used to writing a script for these and doing a voiceover. Maybe I should go more into detail, or maybe this is good. I don't know. Either way, it's a learning process, and I'm glad I can share this with you. Reach was the start of something amazing, not only for me, but for my whole channel. Thank you so much for joining me and giving me your feedback. I would love to see everybody again when I review Halo Combat Evolved.